How about now?
Yeah, there we go. What's going on, my brother? It's Michael Edwards, by the way.
All right, yeah. Well, man, peace to everybody here. I'm not sure who's in the conversation right now, but I want to say peace, shalom, black power, Pan-Africanist power, RBG power to everybody in the room. And I'm sorry I'm late because my phone, the phone company's trying to charge me to call in. So I don't know if y'all experienced that, but yeah, we got it straightened out. So I'm glad I'm here, brother. Glad I'm here. Everybody probably knows who I am, so I've been around Blog Talk a minute.
Oh, yeah, Mike Edwards is in the building. We appreciate you. And, of course, what you been up to lately before we ask you some questions in regards to the RBG Hebrews? What you been up to?
Man, well, I've been up to really the same thing since the last show, man. I do work with children every single month. It's a singing group, and it's a group where I teach children music and music arts, and even vocals and whatnot. So I'm doing that. We got a good summer blowout coming up in Temecula, California. And definitely I've been working on teaching my brothers, not just the older brothers at my age, but younger brothers in the Hebrew Israelite culture here in America, North America, teaching them how to identify more so with our ancient eclectic culture that includes Israelites, not as the whole of our identity. Truly, the story of our past is an eclectic story, is a blended story, it's an amalgamated story, and so I try to teach that to my people so that we can have more of a balanced truth when we teach, and we have more of a historical balance and a grip on history when we teach in our evangelism. I think that's very important for the perception of us from the people to us, that we are seen as competent people, not simply separatists, but we're competent, educated, well-schooled and well-trained, and we love our people. So that those two things really is my main goal in my teaching. I do a lot of YouTube stuff, I do a lot of chastising, I do a lot of teaching and everything on my YouTube channels, RBG Hebrew too. So that's just who I am, that's what I've been doing, man. Just serving the people in whatever way I can and trying to stay blessed, brother.
All right, just to let you know, we have three gentlemen asking questions tonight. We have Brother B.A. He's the host of the Man Up segment on Debate Talk. We also have Anonymous Hebrew, who's the co-host of that same segment, Man Up. And we also have Moray Iftak here. And they're all going to ask you questions one at a time. So, Brother B.A., you're going to ask some questions. Go ahead to start.
Yo, what's the word, Brother Edwards? It's been a minute. How you been, Art?
Hey, man, how you doing, brother? You know what? I know your name. I've never seen your face. I know you from the Google Hangout, right?
Yeah. I'm out here in Sacramento.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've heard you say that before. Yes, I remember who you are, brother. Shalom to you.
Yo, shalom, Art. Earlier, Brother James, he had mentioned this, that the political party is something that could be an idea. Have you guys already decided to come to those terms? Is that in the process of moving forward, or what is your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a very good question. I talked to Brother James Smalls about this 2 years ago, and I put the video on my channel. I talked to the brother about whether a political party is even feasible, and I think for the masses of black people across the United States, I don't think it's the time yet for that. But within the house of Israel and our brothers and sisters, I think that we have a better shot at completing it, not just starting it and letting it fester and fall off, but I think we have a better shot than anybody else in the community, in the black community, because we have a base of brothers that have a network, And so that those simple things are very important to starting a political party. Us knowing who we are, us having communication between us and brotherhood, so that when you start your party, you'll be able to trust those that are working beside you and signing papers and speaking for you. And so I think a political party for us, Israelites, would be great in the sense that our political party helps us to meld into local governments and local application of law. if we're looking for a political party that's going to deal with Democrat and Republican, Independent, and other, I think that's a wasteful undertaking. But I think if we're making a political party and shooting for those goals that can be met point by point and day by day with our people, fight the battles that can be won, I think that's where we should start. And so I think, yeah, we should start a political party, and that can be done, but it has to be done at a very, very, very grassroots level so that everybody in the political party can know the gravity of what we're doing and be on the same page. So, yes, I think it's a great idea, brother, and I think we can do that.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate your answer. When it comes to the RBG Hebrew movement, as we can see overall in the Israelite community, there are some pros and cons, and there are some things that we're improving on, and there are some things that we do still need improvement. How can the RBG Hebrew perspective help those things that we are lacking in when it comes to economics, doctrine, etc.?
Beautiful. Yeah, you got some great questions. The RBG Hebrew movement, like I said before, I see it as an umbrella that covers more than one particular school of thought and one community. And I think the first element of the benefit of the RBG movement is unity. Unity, bringing us together, because there is no steps that can be made as a group without numbers. And so, again, RBG Hebrews, most of the brothers that I know, pride themselves on reaching out across community lines, across religious lines, and, unifying in solidarity where we can meet. You know what I'm saying? We have principles that we can't just trample as us brothers, as Israelites, but there are certain places where we can meet and operate like the governments of the world to the degree that it's productive, you see, because China and the United States have always been literal enemies, but when they sit down at the table, they don't carry that to the table. And our RBG collective black story, bringing in and using and dealing with other brothers, I think that will push us quicker. I think that'll push us quicker. And there was something you said at the last part of your question. Can you give me the last part of it again? Because it was something you said there I wanted to address. The very last B section of your question.
Yeah, actually, BA called this drop. It's called this drop.
No.
When you call it, yeah, BA, call back in, brother. Call back in, and we'll bring you back in. But Anonymous Hebrew, I guess you can take over until BA gets back. That Anonymous.
Yeah, shalom, brother Edwards. How you doing?
Shalom, man. How you doing? Anonymous Hebrew, that's your name?
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, that's what I go by. But
yeah, that's very good to
my
make
Hebrew
your
name.
acquaintance.
What is it, brother? My
Sadiq.
Hebrew name is Sadiq Ben Israel, so I ain't want to just
Sadiq.
Yes.
Indeed, brother Sadiq. I got you, man. I appreciate you, and I respect you, whatever you call yourself. Yeah.
Appreciate you. I just wanted to kind of, pick up a little bit where Brother BA left off. So, and Brother CASSEL was talking about it in terms of trying to unify everything, and even the Moray had touched on it. When you end up in some of these conversations, you're dealing with people who've been in this community for 20 to 30 years, and it does seem to be a lot of pushback about trying to unify for whatever reason. If you're new to this movement, you're new, you've done a lot of study, you're ready to go, however the situation works. What is the best way to go about trying to get involved in the grassroots movement, and maybe if you have to, bypassing some of the elders without being disrespectful? Like, how do you suggest people go about doing this in terms of trying to unify the movement and kind of passing up those that aren't really about unity?
Well, another good question, man. I think that the elders, our elders, whether they be Israelite elders or just our elders in our family, I think that's a very core element to building any undertaking that leads to nationhood. And so I see, like, the elders in our Israelite community, and I all the time I refer to Nasi Father because I respect Principal in a great way. You know what I mean? And just to see that brother has kept his flock together, you know, and there's young people coming through all the time, and they always productive. You know what I mean? I see principle and us having our elders with us. I see that as like one of the main things, other than unifying and reaching out to other people. Because even when we get to the point when we're dealing with people with problems and people don't want to be productive or people don't want to unify, I think our elders see a whole different perspective on how we can unify, you know, how we can come to the table together, you know. So the elders, I think, have to stay, have to be vocal in our movement, you know, and it's just that way even in the scriptures, you know. We are to always honor our elders and seek them for wisdom and counsel, you know what I mean? And so I think that'll be one brick that we can lay that would definitely stay, because we got some great elders. We got some great elders in the Israelite community. But a lot of people don't like to submit to that at all, you know. And that could be a problem. But again, if you have elders, you have a certain level of control and a certain level of respectability. Yeah, so I agree. I see that as one of those elements. Indeed.
I appreciate that. I think that's a great answer. So then, just to kind of land back to follow up off of that, then if we move forward as a community, right? And I think Brother CASSEL, he had some good explanations of this. For you, what does the RBG movement bring? Like, what does it look like for the future from the RBG perspective?
Oh, y'all must have wrote these questions down a week ago. These are good questions.
I'm just really freestyling. It's just, we really care about
intelligent brother,
and I think this is some stuff. Wait till you deal with the Moray. Moray got some good ones too. So
yeah, hit me with that one more time. It's such a good question. I gotta make sure. I missed the end of that one, so I won't drop it on this one. Give me that one more time.
Just to be real brief, like, what does the future look like from the RBG perspective? Like, what does it look like going forward from the RBG perspective?
Okay. I think our future from RBG Hebrew perspective is and should be and really will be more so the reinvigoration of a group like the UNIA. We already have the pattern. You see, we have a skeleton sitting in our closet that, you know, the people took away Marcus Garvey and kicked him out the country, and the UNIA ended up being what it festered into. But we still have the pattern, the blueprint. And the UNIA, again, was made up of Catholic Marcus Garvey, Abyssinians, Moors, and everything else you could think of. Even some Turkish folk and some white people sprinkled in throughout. You know, so I think our movement looks like the UNIA, meaning all inclusive, not just separatist Israelites building a political party, but us being the leaders, like the scriptures command us, to be priests and light to the nation. Once they see us moving in that vein and we're able to just embrace them in love and still teach, I think our thing will be real big. And that's the actual goal, to not just minister to our people, but to actually find the lost, like the scripture said, and bring them in and not kill them, you know, to help them. And the UNIA was a great pattern.
That's a great answer, brother. I'm gonna fall back for a second. I'm gonna let the Moray get done because he is the elder, and I do want to be respectful. Go ahead, Moray.
Let me greet Moray. Moray, is that Moray Shai? Which one?
Moray Yiftach. Moray Yiftach Ben Dan.
Okay. Okay, brother. I got you. Shalom to you. And greetings to James, Brother James. Brother Yaakov.
Okay, shalom, Brother James. Peace and blessings unto you. Glad you can get on. Okay, I got a couple of questions for you. So the first one I want to ask is, you're familiar with the rapper Kanye West and his current statements and the news which he made on TMZ concerning slavery being a choice after 400 years. Are you familiar?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Okay. In reference to that, to us as a people, do you, let me see how I'm trying to put this in a way.
such as this, when we have such a great awakening all across the United States of young brothers, young sisters, older brothers being awakened, older sisters being awakened, I think that we ought to be able to have that conversation and not take a million people and crucify Kanye for saying something that's really a truth in today. I have to direct you to, and after the show, nobody, please don't leave us on the line and go. RBG Hebrew 2 and RBG Hebrew 4 on YouTube. I've been teaching about this for the last 2 days. And I taught that Kanye West is literally a microcosm of Black America. Black America is the macrocosm, and Kanye is literally the walking embodiment of all of our ills across every community line, in every single way. And in that truth, that way, Kanye was actually, in my opinion, brother, and I believe the Spirit is speaking, through not Kanye, but the whole issue, that we all need to take a look at the choices that we make. Because I was teaching today to brother Daz Dillinger. I don't want to get long with it, but Daz is a rapper, a West Coast rapper. And this brother joined the attack, right? And everybody piled on Kanye, and now this brother here is doing the more sick thing. Other than marrying a white woman, other than actually embracing Donald Trump, which would be never in today's time. Other than that, this brother here got on camera and tried to get the young brothers that are Crips to aggress this man, kill him, beat him up, do whatever to him. And so when we're looking at that, we can look at the truth of what Kanye said. Whether Kanye is off his rocker or not, even crazy people and mentally ill people say truths. If they got to go to the bathroom, they really do got to go. And I don't think it was a divisive comment of Kanye. I think it was just an untactful series of words that he said and didn't really know what he was saying. But the truth is that we make terrible. I'm sorry. Let me close it and now get right on. I think we make terrible decisions, and then we blame even our blessings. Like somebody come give you a nice bed, we get in the bed, fall asleep, wake up too late for work, and then we get fired and we come home and blame the bed. We blame the bed, we blame the person that blessed us with it, instead of us taking accountability for the amount of prostitutes in our community, the amount of aborted children every day, hundreds in America still today, the amount of gangbangers and the dope and all of the pornography in every wretched way that is against God and against resurrection of the black man. When we can't address it and say, yeah, you know what, we got a problem, then we literally become what Kanye was talking about and what Kanye is. So I think it's a good question. Kanye put it out there, a good statement rather, just was said in a bad way. And I don't think he had the wherewithal to teach against his comeback. And like I said, man, I want y'all really to check those videos out, because I touched on a lot of things in these 3 videos concerning that our people just really need to hear. Let me give you one and then I'll shut up and let you hear it again. But I said, the question of the century, why are we still here in America? Not just as Israelites, but as people. Well, we know pursuant to prophecy in Deuteronomy 28, the blessings and the curses, we know why we're here. But why are we still here as a collective people? And in that sense, for over 200 and some years, we have made a choice to be the people that were under the curses and remain there and remain married to that which oppressed us. And we even invest in that which oppressed us. And in that sense, we make ourselves mental free slaves. We're free, but we're still slaves by our own mind and desires. We love Walmart and Foot Locker. You dig it? Can't get away from Walmart. But why? Why? Nobody would stay on a job where they beat you, and then you get up from the beating, and you go to the time clock, and somebody cuts your hand off, and then you run, try to get a napkin, and somebody pushes you in the bathroom and beats you up again. Nobody would put themselves through that except for us. And that's why we haven't gotten reparations. And that's why the spirit of prophecy alleviated our condition, because part of our condition is self-inflicted. I don't know if I went too far or said too much. Or went too far.
Nah, you good, bro. Can I just ask a quick? Can I ask a quick follow-up to that, Moray, please?
Sure. I'll get in after you. Go ahead, my brother.
All right, I'll just ask one quick one. All right, so this is to you, the Brother Edwards and Brother CASSEL. Because now we're touching on something else that I think pops up in the curses that we kind of overlooked, and that's the being stricken with madness part. Right? And how much of this what I consider post-traumatic slave disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder, how much of this hinges on that? How much of what's going on in our community hinges on that, thus being the need for us to really focus as intelligent men of color, saying if there is something wrong, you need to go get some help. Don't be afraid to go talk to someone. How much of this hinges on that? And is that part of the RBG movement in saying, don't be afraid to go talk to somebody and get rid of these mental issues, because it's just a stigma. It's just like having a cold. You can go get it fixed. How much of that?
Okay, let's all up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, let me cut in there real quick. You come right after me, Mike.
No, go ahead, brother.
I think that.
All right, now I'm gonna stop you right there, only because I got to get my brother Sal's permission and my brother James' permission. I don't want to breach any of their rules and the things that they got on their social media by putting them here. So I want to get the permission to put the whole show on here so y'all can hear dear brother James, CASSEL, brother Yakub, all of the brothers, brother BA, all of the brothers that were asking the question. Our dear brother Sal, Showtime. Shout out to Sal, man. You've been rocking, man, for a long time with that show, and you've blessed a lot of people, man. So I thank God for you, brother, and I want you to keep on doing your work. And y'all listen to me. If you're an Israelite and you're not a part of the RBG movement, listen to me. God is doing a new thing in this earth and in this country. And if you're not a part of the new thing, you want to stay old and stagnant, you want to stay old and ignorant, you want to stay hating your black self and your black story and your eclectic story, listen to me and let me serve witness on you now. All of you old brothers that refuse to come up in your knowledge and your scholarship, listen to me. The RBG movement is going to outshine you. It's going to be just like putting the dirty glass next to the clean glass. When the Bible says the Israelites had their inception in North Africa, so goes the story of Yakub and the man that embodied the nation of Israel. His inception and their inception was in North Africa. And even the very Mashiach, yes, grew up in North Africa. Now, tell me why you hate Africans. See that? Marcus Garvey gave us a blueprint, and the blueprint does not include separatism and disunity from our people. The blueprint includes knowledge of yourself, pride in your story, and proper application of truth. So, One West, y'all better start learning who you are, or you're going to get overshadowed, bruh. And that's the word of the Lord for today. So later on, I'll be back after I get permission from Brother Sal and Brother James, and we're going to put it up here in RBG Hebrew too. And I got a treat for y'all after I post this one, so come back. All right? Peace and black power, and stay tuned, fam. We going all the way up, you dig?